I never thought I'd be one of those people posting their relationship drama on Reddit, yet here I am, hiding in my bathroom at 3 a.m., typing this on my phone while my husband sleeps peacefully in our bed. How did we get here? Let me start from the beginning. Jake and I have been married for 4 years. We met in college, dated for 3 years, and had what I considered a healthy, loving relationship. Our sex life was good, not mind-blowing or anything you'd see in movies, but comfortable and satisfying. At least, that's what I thought until about 6 months ago when Jake brought up the idea of inviting someone else into our bedroom. "It's just a fantasy," he said during one of our wine nights. "Something to spice things up, you know?" I was shocked at first. We'd never discussed anything like this before. But after a few glasses of wine and some late-night conversations, I found myself growing curious. Maybe this could be exciting? Maybe this would bring us closer? Most importantly, I didn't want Jake to think I was boring or closed-minded. So I agreed to consider it. We set boundaries. We talked about jealousy. We promised to be completely honest with each other. And eventually, we created a dating profile together. Enter Mia. She was beautiful, confident, and experienced with couples. She was everything I wasn't: spontaneous, bold, uninhibited. After several dinner dates and getting to know each other, we all agreed it felt right. Last weekend, it happened. We had Mia over for dinner, opened an expensive bottle of wine, and things progressed naturally from there. The experience itself was intense. Different. Not at all what I expected. I thought I'd be jealous seeing Jake with another woman. But in the moment, there was something almost hypnotic about watching them together. The problem came afterward, when Mia left, and it was just the two of us again. Jake was elated. He couldn't stop talking about how amazing it was, how perfect Mia had been, how he'd never experienced anything like it. With each word, I felt a knot forming in my stomach. Something felt off. That night, Jake fell asleep almost immediately, but I lay awake for hours. The images kept replaying in my mind. Jake's face when he looked at her, the sounds he made, the way he touched her. Were those expressions I'd never seen before? Did he touch her differently than he touches me? The next morning, Jake suggested we invite Mia over again. Soon, the knot in my stomach tightened. Was I not enough? The question escaped my lips before I could stop it. Jake looked surprised. "Of course you are. This isn't about that. It's just fun, right?" We agreed. And we had. I had. So why did I feel this crushing sense of doubt? It's been a week since our encounter with Mia, and I can't shake the feeling that something fundamental has shifted in our relationship. Jake and I are going through the motions of our normal routine: morning coffee, work, dinner, TV, bed, but there's a new tension hovering between us, at least on my end. Jake has texted Mia several times. I know because I saw the notifications pop up on his phone while it was charging on our kitchen counter. "Just friendly follow-up," he said when I asked about it. But his eyes lit up in a way that made my stomach clench. Yesterday, I found myself doing something I've never done before. I checked his phone while he was in the shower. I know it was wrong, a violation of trust, but I couldn't help myself. Their texts were innocent enough on the surface. Thank yous for the evening, mentions of how fun it was. But there was a flirtatious undertone that made me feel sick. "Would love to do it again sometime," Mia had written with a winking emoji. "Definitely. Working on S. She's a bit unsure, but will come around," Jake had replied. "S, that's me. Sarah. My husband was discussing me like I was some obstacle to be managed, not an equal partner whose feelings mattered." When Jake stepped out of the shower, I confronted him. Not about the snooping. I was too ashamed to admit that, but about my feelings. "I'm not sure I want to do this again," I told him. "At least not right away." His face fell slightly before he caught himself and nodded. "Of course, babe. Whenever you're ready." No pressure. But there was pressure. It hung in the air during dinner that night, and the next night, and the next. Jake was distant, checking his phone more often than usual, laughing at texts but not sharing what was funny. Our own intimacy became strained. When we made love 2 nights ago, it felt like he was somewhere else. My friend Rachel is the only person I've told about this. Over coffee yesterday, her eyes widened as I spilled the whole story. "Sarah, honey," she said, reaching for my hand. "Are you sure this is what you want? Because it sounds like Jake might be getting attached to the idea of Mia, not just the experience." "It was my choice too," I defended weakly. "I agreed to it." "Agreeing to something and wanting something are different things," Rachel pointed out. "Did you actually want this, or did you just not want to disappoint Jake?" Her question hit me hard because I honestly didn't know the answer. Had I been trying to be the cool wife? Was I afraid that if I didn't agree, Jake would find someone who would? Last night, Jake suggested a date night this weekend. "Just the two of us," he promised. "To reconnect." I agreed, hoping it might help clear the air. But then I overheard him on the phone in his office, speaking in a hushed tone. "Not this weekend," he was saying. "Sarah's a bit sensitive right now." "Yeah, I know. Just give it time." He was talking to Mia. About me. Again. Now I'm lying beside him in bed, watching him sleep peacefully while I'm drowning in doubt and insecurity. What if this wasn't just a one-time adventure for Jake? What if he's developing feelings for Mia? What if I've opened a door that can never be closed again? Our date night started well enough. Jake reserved a table at the Italian restaurant where we had our first anniversary dinner. He ordered my favorite wine and seemed genuinely focused on me for the first time in weeks. We talked about work, about the house renovation plans we'd been putting off, about maybe taking that trip to Portugal next summer. Normal couple things. Safe topics. Then his phone buzzed. He glanced at it quickly, smiled, and put it face down on the table. Something in me snapped. Is that her? I asked too loudly. A couple at the next table glanced over. Jake looked startled. What? No, it's just work. At 8 p.m. on a Friday? I challenged. He sighed. Sarah, what's going on with you? I thought we were having a nice evening. What's going on is that I made a mistake, I said, my voice shaking. This whole threesome thing. It was a mistake, and I think you know it too. Jake's face hardened. That's not fair. You agreed to everything. You seemed into it that night. I was trying to be. I hissed, conscious of keeping my voice down. I wanted to be open-minded for you. But now everything's different, and you're texting her all the time, and I am not texting her all the time, Jake interrupted, but I could see the defensive flush creeping up his neck. He was lying. Show me your phone then, I demanded. His hesitation was all the confirmation I needed. When he finally handed over his phone, I found what I feared. Dozens of messages exchanged with Mia. Some about me, some not about me at all. They had inside jokes already. He had sent her a song recommendation because it made me think of you. There was talk of meeting for coffee, just the two of them, to discuss things. I set the phone down carefully, as if it might explode, and asked the question that had been eating at me for weeks. Are you falling for her? Jake didn't answer immediately, which was an answer in itself. It's complicated, he finally said. I love you, Sarah. You're my wife. But there's something about Mia that... I didn't let him finish. I grabbed my purse and walked out of the restaurant, tears streaming down my face. Jake followed me to the parking lot, calling my name, but I drove away. That was 3 days ago. I've been staying at Rachel's apartment since then. Jake has called and texted constantly, his messages evolving from angry, "You're overreacting," to pleading, "Please come home so we can talk about this." This morning, I finally agreed to meet him at a coffee shop, neutral territory. He arrived looking terrible, like he hadn't slept. He said he'd ended all contact with Mia. He said he wanted to work on our marriage, maybe see a counselor. He said he was sorry. I believe that he's sorry. What I don't know is whether our relationship can recover from this. The trust is damaged. The image of them together still haunts me. The knowledge that he developed feelings for someone else so quickly terrifies me. So here I am, Reddit. I'm sitting in my car outside our house, trying to decide if I should go in. Jake wants me home. He says we can fix this, but I'm not sure if some mistakes can be undone. Was I naive to think we could invite someone else into the most intimate part of our relationship without consequences? Perhaps. Was Jake wrong to pursue a connection with Mia behind my back? Definitely. Are we both at fault? Probably. The question now is whether there's enough love left to rebuild what we've broken. And honestly, I don't know the answer.